Happy Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day celebration 2022. Good morning to the grind. Good morning to the grind. Good morning to the grind. Man, a day that we get to reference someone that sacrificed so much so others could follow behind. I believe in that, change your life. You could change other people's lives too. So today we will be celebrating, some amazing speeches, quotes from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I got some reference to it myself. I remember, I don't remember this day and age so much, but, being around and seeing some things that I was, well before, after his time. But, my dad, stepping in and showing me some of the things that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had, established to follow, so salute. I believe that, if you're willing to stand for something so strong that you could sacrifice, what might be good for you, for others, man, that's an amazing place to be. So good morning. Let's get on to it. This is the Morning Grind Grindology101 Podcast. And I'm your host, KeJohnna Owens. So today, again, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., we're going to celebrate today. How about that?
And while sitting there autographing books, a demented black woman came up. The only question I heard from her was, "Are you Martin Luther King?" And I was looking down writing, and I said, "Yes." The next minute, I felt something beating on my chest. Before I knew it, I had been stabbed by this demented woman. I was rushed to Harlem Hospital. It was a dark Saturday afternoon. That blade had gone through, and the x-rays revealed that the tip of the blade was on the edge of my aorta, the main artery. And once that's punctured, you're drowned in your own blood. That's the end of you. It came out in the New York Times the next morning that if I had merely sneezed, I would have died. Well, about 4 days later, they allowed me, after the operation, after my chest had been opened and the blade had been taken out, to move around in the wheelchair in the hospital. They allowed me to read some of the mail that came in, and from all over the states and the world, kind letters came in. I read a few, but one of them I will never forget. I had received one from the president and the vice president. I've forgotten what those telegrams said. I'd received a visit and a letter from the governor of New York, but I've forgotten what that letter said. But there was another letter that came from a little girl, a young girl, who was a student at the White Plains High School. And I looked at that letter, and I'll never forget it. It said simply, "Dear Dr. King, I am a 9th grade student at the White Plains High School." She said, "While it should not matter, I would like to mention that I'm a white girl. I read in the paper of your misfortune and of your suffering. And I read that if you had sneezed, you would have died. I'm simply writing you to say that I'm so happy that you didn't sneeze. I want to say tonight that I too am happy that I didn't sneeze, because if I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been around here in 1960, when students all over the South started sitting in at lunch counters. And I knew that as they were sitting in, they were really standing up for the best in the American dream and taking the whole nation back to those great wells of democracy which were dug deep by the founding fathers in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been around here in 1962. The Negroes in Albany, Georgia, decided to straighten their backs up. And whenever men and women straighten their backs up, they are going somewhere, because a man can't ride your back unless it is bent. If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been here in 1963. The black people of Birmingham, Alabama, aroused the conscience of this nation and brought into being the Civil Rights Bill. If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have had a chance later that year in August to try to tell America about a dream that I had had. If I had sneezed, I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
What a man! What a guy! I'm gonna just say it from a basic standpoint, that just says, you know what? Somebody's got to do something. And when you look at who somebody is, you generally find yourself in the mirror. If you think about it, he said, "I'm the one," and he stepped up and he stepped out and he changed the entire world. And because of him today, and many others, and many others that have stood right alongside in any kind of way to make any kind of difference, whether it's reference to the world or just your community or just your household, whatever that might be. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. opened the doors for bravery, for an example of what sacrifice really looked like, what it really embodied, what the commitment really is. And we are all human, and we face what we face here in this world. To go through what we face in this world and force through, not for yourself but for others, is the tenet. And because of his sacrifices, we get to, we're so grateful. We got this amazing guy that gives us these amazing opportunities, and some of us just stick up and stand out and just pronounce themselves as something very, very different. And Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is absolutely one of those. And we'd like to say thank you. And the only way that we could ever do anything is by somebody setting the road in front so others could do it behind them. So again, we salute to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And for those of you out there today, get up. People laid a pathway that we didn't have to have. People laid a pathway that they didn't have to set. People did things to set something in motion that they didn't even get to see. The dream, having that dream. What about you being able to see it? Sometimes it's not for you. Sometimes it's for the next. And that's the level of sacrifice that sometimes it takes. Without individuals like him, we couldn't have individuals like this. This is Dr. Marlon Scott, as he talks about his book and why he is so adamant about, raising kings, making a difference, changing people's lives, and through his work of art and literature, praising kings. That's what we're doing. And we salute to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. today, and we thank you for allowing and opening a platform for others to follow.
My name is Dr. Marlon Scott, and I've been blessed to write, author, and publish one of the most groundbreaking books of a generation entitled Raising Kings. As you're well aware of, there's a situation going on with our young men that can be reversed. In the book, Raising Kings, I list several practical and portable, user-friendly techniques, and principles that will transform our young men into kings. Who is this book for? This book is for single parents. This book is for grandparents raising young men, uncles, nephews, sororities, fraternities, the boys club, anything or anyone that has a vested interest in mentoring our young men. You gotta get this book. You gotta get this book into your hands. Go to IamDrMarlonScott.com to order the book. You can get the book not only for yourself, but for others. If you know someone or an organization that is serious about raising and mentoring young men, get the book. Get the book for somebody else. Go to IamDrMarlonScott.com. Go to IamDrMarlonScott.com. This book is for anyone who wants to make a difference in young men's lives, raising them and transforming them from boys into kings. Get the book. Go to IamDrMarlonScott.com.
Welcome. I want to welcome you to be a part of the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce. We have 12 chapters from the desert to the sea. There's a chamber near you someplace so you to be able to do business and fellowship and be able to find the contacts that you need. We help turn contacts into contracts. One of the things that we do, we give you access to capital. So if you're looking at participating in a business, come to one of our mixers at the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce, where we network from the desert to the sea, from Barstow to Temecula, from Palm Springs to LA. Always an opportunity to network. If you need some information about the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce or one of our fantastic events such as our celebrity golf tournament, our film festival coming up, give us a call or check us out online. Our website is blackchamberofcommerce.org, or you can give us a call at 888-466-7408. That's the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce. And my name is Rich Wallace, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Top of the day, aspiring authors. This is Dr. John L. Mack. I want to come back and just share with you some information for your transformation, elevation, and compensation. Listen, all of us, everybody has a book in them that somebody wants and needs to read. And with today's technology, anybody can write and publish a book, but nobody can write or read a book that's never been published. Now, I want to talk to you today about the imposter syndrome. Many people that want to write that book, that need to write that book, that aspire to write that book, never write it because something shows up in them that's called the imposter syndrome. And this is the mindset that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy enough, that you don't have anything of value or significance or importance to say. And if you do, nobody's going to read it anyway. That's the imposter, and that's a mindset. This imposter shows up and says that you shouldn't and that you can't write that brand building book. I'm here to tell you that there are three types of people in life. There's the poser who acts as if he does. There's the imposter who believes that he doesn't. And then there's that imperfect person that does it anyway. You can do it anyway. If you show up with massive, imperfect action, the end result is going to be a better future than you could have possibly imagined. So today, in that imposter syndrome, stop that poser syndrome and work as the imperfect person that you are to create a better version of your future. Have an awesome day. And remember, you can do it.
My daddy used to say, when someone opens the door for you, go in. And just think about the doors that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Opened today, that we could do. I could do what I'm doing today, even put on my, similarly with my own personal touch to it, the black and white, which was synonymous with, that standard discipline right there. But then I got my Obama 44 pen signed edition. Thank you to Roscoe Lee Owens out there. Salute, man. Without someone forging the way, we couldn't do any of that. So that's why I'm showing that these leaders that are writing books, that are creating movies, that are creating content, that are charging forward and doing things that nobody ever thought they could, doing things that people said they shouldn't, doing things that people say they can't. But obviously you get a chance to get up every day and do what you want to do, and you get to do that because of leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So we're going to keep on sharing, and I'm going to save that speech, do I have a dream, as we close there. But we're most definitely going to share that, because we all have dreams. We all have that something inside of us to do, but only a few of us are willing to do the work to make it happen. Pause for effect. Only a few of us are willing to do the work that will make it happen, going through the nose, taking the chance, doing the work that it takes. And that's what we're talking about right here. So let's get right on back into it. They gave this young man an opportunity years and years ago to speak on the subject of personal development, some things that, work within himself. And because of people like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he was able to. So let's check that out.
Welcome the King of Queens recipient, Mr. KeJohnna.
I want to tell you about the 3 P's. This is the way that the 3 P's work. The 3 P's of success. One is presence. Presence is, you always have to be ready. You don't know who you meet. You don't know who you see. You don't know what's going to go on that day. So dressing for success, the success that you desire, is important. Your presence. There's also your purpose. And everybody say purpose. Purpose is what you believe in, what you feel passionate about. You have something unique that you want to bring to this world, something that you want to do. You don't know where it came from, but you have a purpose. You have to be driven. I like where I am, but there's something that is for me. It's something that is for me, and I know we search for it hard, but we have it. It's a quiet place we have to get in, and that's where you find your purpose. I found my purpose in making sure that I got quiet. I just got still. I got to a place where I looked at all the things I've been through. I looked at all the things that I've done. I looked at all the places I've been. And I said, you know what? All I've been through has prepared me for something. Because we never really know. But my purpose is to make a difference. Use my life to make a difference as others. You get up early in the morning, but you walk out and you really get up, have yourself some goals. Have yourself some goals. Attach to your
Success Express Marketing Solutions presents your virtual video podcast studio. Let the Success Express team help bring your podcasting dreams to life. Here's what we do. We help you come up with show ideas, design graphics for your show, set up your podcast studio, and run the back end of your show. So what do? Be ready for your show. Make sure your guests are ready. Log into the virtual studio, turn your cameras on, and go. Not sure you're ready to go live on a monthly or a weekly basis? You can get the Try Us Out Success Special. It's only $97 with free design setup. All you got to do is try us out, and I guarantee you're going to want more. So get set up today with your virtual video podcast studio from Success Express Marketing Solutions. So go online to Success Express MKTG, and we'll get you set up today. Sign up now and get our free ebook, Modern Podcasting, that'll teach you all the techniques you need to know to get your podcast started today.
Hi, my name is KeJohnna Owens. I am co-founder of Success Express Marketing Solutions. Our business is cultivating more business for your business. I want to tell you real quick about our program that is one of the most comprehensive business development online marketing support programs out there, which is the VASP, VASP, Virtual Assistant Support Program. This system allows you to operate and run your business while we help monitor and help you cultivate more business for your business online. Contact us at 909-686-1698 and visit us online at successexpressmarketing.com. Look forward to helping you take your business to the next level. Absolutely looking forward to helping people take their visions to a whole nother level. I hope that this podcast opens up some airways to success for you. Again, as I said, we will, this whole day is about, celebrating the sacrifices, the discipline, the focus, the opportunities that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. laid in front of us on this day today of celebration. I like to just close out with, I have a dream. I have a dream of being able to take care of my family for legacies and legacies to come. I don't think I can have those kind of visions for myself without people that have done things that open up their vision, that I can see that it can't be done because it has been done. And individuals like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is so rare that we celebrate them on their days. And today we celebrate I Have a Dream. Thank you for attending. This has been the Morning Grind Grindology101 Podcast. Succeed on purpose. Get out there, win. Keep your dream alive. But nothing works but to work. Nothing works but to work. You must apply the level of your work to match the level of your faith. Let's dream again.
I have the pleasure to present to you Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. Five score years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will they be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream. My poor little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification. One day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, and every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is the faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day when all of God's children be able to sing with new meaning, my country, tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring, and when it happens, when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, We will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, thank God